Now, why do men with goals succeed in life and men without them fail? Well, let me tell you something which, if you really understand it, will alter your life immediately. It is this: we become what we think about. A success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If a man is working toward a predetermined goal and knows where he's going, that man is a success. If he's not doing that, he's a failure. You are, at this moment, the sum total of your thoughts up to this point. You can control your destiny simply by controlling your thoughts. Act as though it were impossible to fail. If you do this, your success will be assured. Don't concern yourself with how. The answers will come when you need them. Have you ever stopped, just for a moment, to ask yourself why only a small percentage of people ever truly succeed, while the majority drift through life wondering where it all went wrong? It isn't because of luck or fate or circumstance. No, success is never an accident. It's a result, a product of thought, discipline, and understanding the fundamentals that govern every life. You see, the difference between those who live with purpose and those who wander aimlessly is not intelligence, not talent, but awareness of the simple truths that shape our world. Today, let's explore those timeless fundamentals that have guided every person who ever achieved greatness. The first great fundamental is thought. We become what we think about. That is not philosophy, it is law. The mind, like a fertile field, will return what you plant. If you plant seeds of confusion, fear, and doubt, you'll harvest a life filled with hesitation and regret. But if you plant seeds of clarity, belief, and purpose, life will yield abundance. Everything we are and everything we shall become begins within the quiet chambers of the mind. Guard your thoughts as you would guard your treasures, for they will become the architecture of your destiny. The second fundamental is purpose. A ship without a destination drifts at the mercy of the wind and tide. So it is with the human being who moves without a goal. The successful man or woman is not the one who has arrived, but the one who knows where they are going. Decide where you wish to go. Write it down. Commit it to memory. Let it burn so brightly in your imagination that no circumstance, no setback, and no voice of doubt can extinguish it. A person with a clear purpose walks in straight lines while others wander in circles. The third fundamental is discipline. Every dream worth living demands a price, paid daily, not in bursts of enthusiasm, but in steady, deliberate effort. The difference between mediocrity and mastery is persistence. You must be willing to do what others will not. Think longer, work harder, and stay faithful to your path when no one is watching. Success is not the product of intensity, but consistency. The world rewards those who do today what others plan to begin tomorrow. The fourth fundamental is attitude. Life does not respond to what we deserve. It responds to how we think and act. Two people may face the same obstacle. One sees defeat, the other sees opportunity. Your attitude is the lens through which you interpret every experience. Choose gratitude over complaint, curiosity over fear, and resolve over resignation. You cannot always choose your circumstances, but you can always choose your outlook, and that choice will make all the difference. The fifth fundamental is service. No one rises by lifting only themselves. Every lasting success is built on the foundation of contribution. Ask not, what can I get? But what can I give? The marketplace rewards those who add value, who solve problems, who make life richer for others. When you dedicate your work to the service of people, you become indispensable. The great secret of prosperity is this: help others reach their goals, and yours will be realized in the process. And finally, the sixth fundamental is faith. Faith in yourself, in the process, and in the unseen hand that guides those who walk with integrity. You will not always see the entire road before you, but if you keep your mind focused, your purpose clear, and your attitude right, each step will reveal the next. Remember, the seeds of greatness are already within you. Nurture them with thought, purpose, discipline, attitude, service, and faith, and life will unfold before you in ways you once thought impossible. There comes a moment in every life when a person pauses long enough to wonder, why do some seem to move forward with clarity and confidence, while others struggle endlessly, repeating the same mistakes, never quite grasping what holds them back? The answer lies not in the stars, not in luck, not in circumstances, but in the quiet, invisible power that directs every action, decision, and habit, the power of thought. For it is thought that builds and thought that destroys. The life each of us lives is a mirror reflecting the content of our own mind. To master life, we must first master the instrument that shapes it. Everything you see around you began as a thought. The buildings, the cities, the music, the machines, even the smallest conveniences of your daily life. They were once nothing more than ideas, images in the mind of a person who dared to think them. A chair begins not with wood, but with imagination. A career begins not with opportunity, but with belief. Every creation begins in the invisible realm of thought long before it takes form in the world of matter. So if all that exists began as thought, is it not clear that the thoughts you hold about yourself, your world, and your future are creating the reality you now experience? The mind is the most extraordinary mechanism ever known, yet most people use it as they might use a powerful tool without instruction, carelessly, impulsively, often against their own best interests. They allow their thoughts to drift wherever emotion and circumstance carry them. They dwell on fear, resentment, worry, and limitation, never realizing that the mind, like a field, will grow anything you plant. If you fill it with weeds, weeds will flourish. If you fill it with seeds of purpose, faith, and gratitude, it will yield a harvest of abundance. The law is simple. Whatever you think about consistently will become the pattern of your life. You cannot escape the direction of your dominant thoughts. If you think small, you will live small. If you think in terms of scarcity, you will notice only what you lack. But if you think in terms of growth, contribution, and possibility, life will reveal opportunities that others never see. The mind responds faithfully to the images and beliefs impressed upon it. You become the very thing you dwell upon. This truth is neither mystical nor poetic. It is a fact as certain as gravity. Consider how a single negative thought can alter the course of a day. You wake with promise, yet allow one irritation, one doubt, one unguarded complaint to cloud your mind. Suddenly the world appears darker, opportunities smaller, people less kind. You have not changed the world. You have changed the lens through which you view it. Now imagine the cumulative effect of thousands of such thoughts repeated over months, years, even decades. They shape habits, harden attitudes, and ultimately sculpt the destiny of a person who wonders why nothing ever improves. To live wisely is to take command of your inner world. This means choosing your thoughts with care, as you would choose the food that nourishes your body or the company you keep. Ask yourself, what occupies my mind when I am alone? Are these thoughts building me or breaking me? Do they strengthen my purpose or weaken my resolve? You cannot think defeat and expect victory. You cannot dwell on limitation and experience freedom. The mind does not discriminate. It will return exactly what you feed it. Begin to think deliberately. When fear enters, replace it with faith. When envy whispers, answer with gratitude. When doubt arises, affirm the truth of your purpose. This is the quiet work of transformation. It requires vigilance, for the world will constantly tempt you to drift, to absorb the noise of negativity and confusion. But the person who learns to guard their thoughts gains mastery over every circumstance. For though you may not control the winds, you can set the sails. The journey to success begins not with action, but with awareness. Become aware of what you think about, what you believe possible, what you expect from life. Thoughts are the architects of destiny. Each one builds or breaks the structure of your future. So begin today to think with intention. Choose thoughts worthy of the life you desire. Hold them, nurture them. Let them shape your words, your actions, your habits. In time, you will look around and realize that the world has changed. Not because it finally favored you, but because your thoughts finally aligned with truth. Every life drifts until it finds a direction. Without a destination in mind, even the strongest wind is useless, for no breeze can favor a ship that sails nowhere. And yet, most people move through life without ever deciding what they truly want. They wake, they work, they sleep, they repeat. But they do not live with purpose. They are passengers upon their own journey, tossed about by the tides of circumstance, hoping somehow to arrive at a shore they never chose. The first great step toward mastery of life is to know where you are going. A clear purpose transforms existence from a series of random events into a meaningful voyage. Purpose is not found, it is created. It begins when a person stops asking, "What do I wish life would give me?" and instead asks, "What do I intend to do with the life I have?" The individual who takes time to define a goal, to carve from the infinite possibilities one worthy aim, gains power that others cannot see. Suddenly each decision, each action, each thought finds direction. Energy once scattered now flows toward a single point, and like a magnifying glass focusing sunlight, it burns with intensity. Think of the difference between a person with a plan and one without. One rises each morning with a reason to move forward. The other wakes only because the day demands it. One measures progress by how far they have come toward a chosen end. The other drifts, measuring nothing, hoping fortune will deliver something worth keeping. The gap between these two grows wider with each passing day, until one stands upon the summit of achievement and the other wonders how life slipped quietly through their fingers. A purpose need not be grand in the eyes of the world, but it must be meaningful in the heart. Whether it is to build a business, raise a family, create art, or serve others, what matters is that it calls forth your best self. A worthy purpose excites the imagination, challenges the will, and demands growth. It is not chosen for ease but for elevation. When you select a goal that truly matters, it draws out of you qualities you never knew you possessed: discipline, patience, courage, and vision. Most people never choose. They drift because they fear committing to a single direction. They worry they might choose wrong, and so they choose nothing. But indecision is the silent thief of progress. Life rewards action, not hesitation. The person who decides, even imperfectly, will always move farther than the one who waits for certainty. A goal gives meaning to effort, direction to thought, and strength to perseverance. Without it, all energy is wasted in aimless motion. To live without a goal is to live at the mercy of chance. The person who sets no course becomes like a cork upon the ocean, rising and falling with every wave blown about by every wind. But the one who declares, "This is where I am going and this is why," becomes captain of their soul. Obstacles may appear, storms may rage, but the compass of purpose remains steady. Such a person is no longer a victim of circumstance, but a creator of destiny. A written goal has power beyond words. When you commit it to paper, you declare it not only to yourself but to the unseen forces of life. It becomes a promise, a contract between your present self and the greater self you are becoming. Each morning, read it. Let it remind you why you began. Each evening, reflect upon how you have moved closer. Let it guide your choices, shape your habits, and lift your thoughts when the path grows hard. There is a quiet confidence that surrounds one who knows their purpose. You can see it in their eyes, hear it in their voice, feel it in their presence. They are not hurried, for they know what matters. They are not easily discouraged, for they know why they strive. While others are distracted by noise, they remain centered, guided by an inner compass that points always toward their chosen star. Decide now where you wish to go. Do not wait for the world to tell you. Do not borrow the dreams of others or accept the limits they impose. Look inward and listen to that still, small voice that whispers what you were meant to do. Then, fix your gaze upon it and walk steadily forward. Every great journey begins not with a step, but with a decision. Choose your direction, and the path will unfold before you. Every dream that has ever been realized, every vision that has ever been brought into form, has required one indispensable element: discipline. It is the bridge between intention and accomplishment, the quiet force that turns wishes into realities. Desire may spark the flame, but discipline keeps it burning long after enthusiasm has faded. Without it, even the brightest ambition flickers out, lost to distraction, fatigue, and the endless temptations of ease. Those who rise above the ordinary do so not because they never falter, but because they have learned to act with purpose, even when comfort calls them to rest. Discipline begins the moment you decide that your future is worth more than your impulses. It is the conscious choice to do what must be done, not what feels convenient. It's waking early when the bed whispers for more sleep. It's studying while others idle, practicing while others gossip, building quietly when no one applauds. The disciplined person understands that greatness is not achieved in a single act of brilliance, but in the repetition of simple actions done faithfully, day after day. What seems small in the moment becomes monumental in its accumulation. There is a profound satisfaction in knowing that your word is law to yourself. Most people make promises only to break them. They declare goals and dreams, yet crumble the moment difficulty appears. Discipline is the antidote to that weakness. It is self-respect in action. When you say, "I will," and you follow through, you build trust in your own character. Each fulfilled promise strengthens the foundation upon which success stands. In time, Your confidence no longer depends on luck or approval. It is rooted in proof, the evidence of effort repeated until mastery is born. To practice discipline is to understand the rhythm of progress. You will not see transformation overnight, nor should you expect to. Growth is subtle. Like the unfolding of dawn, it comes quietly, then all at once. Those who lack discipline chase quick rewards, they abandon paths when results delay. But those who are steadfast walk with patience. They know that persistence is the great multiplier, that a single disciplined act, repeated 1,000 times, can move mountains. The one who persists through monotony will one day be called lucky by those who never endured it. Discipline is not harshness. It is not punishment. It is the highest form of care you can give yourself, for it guards your future from the chaos of indulgence. Think of an athlete who trains while others rest. The hours are long, the strain immense, but in the quiet of effort, they are shaping strength unseen by the casual eye. The same principle applies to every pursuit: art, business, knowledge, service. Excellence is born from steady, deliberate practice, guided by purpose, sustained by will. Many imagine discipline as a burden, but in truth, it is freedom. Without it, a person becomes a slave to moods, to appetites, to the pull of every fleeting distraction. With it, life gains structure, order, and meaning. Discipline gives you mastery over time. It turns chaos into clarity, uncertainty into progress. The undisciplined mind scatters itself in 100 directions, accomplishing little. The disciplined mind moves like an arrow toward its target. Every decision aligns with a single aim, and every day becomes a step closer to fulfillment. There will be moments when the path feels long and the results invisible. In those times, remember that every act of discipline is a seed planted. You may not see the harvest today, but beneath the surface, growth is taking place. The habit you build now will serve you in ways you cannot yet imagine. Each day of effort compounds upon the last, until the weight of consistent action tips the scales in your favor. Discipline, once cultivated, becomes its own reward, a source of quiet pride, unshakable resolve, and lasting strength. It is not enough to know what to do, one must also do it. Knowledge without discipline is potential wasted. The world is full of dreamers who never begin, and beginners who never persist. The difference between those who wish and those who achieve is not talent, not opportunity, but the willingness to stay the course. Discipline turns vision into reality, labor into legacy. When the desire for comfort tempts you to quit, remember that each act of perseverance is a declaration that you value growth over ease, purpose over pleasure, and the future over the fleeting moment. There is a power so subtle, so profound, that it determines the very quality of your life. It shapes the way you see the world, the meaning you assign to every experience, and the strength with which you face each day. That power is attitude. It is the lens through which reality is interpreted, the compass by which every decision is guided. Two people may stand before the same challenge. One sees a wall and stops, the other sees a lesson and grows. The difference is not in the obstacle, but in the mind that meets it. Your attitude, more than your knowledge, talent, or circumstance, is the measure of your destiny. Each morning, before a single event unfolds, attitude begins its work. It whispers how you will meet the hours ahead, with gratitude or complaint, courage or fear, hope or resignation. It decides whether the world will appear rich in opportunity or barren in disappointment. The events of the day do not determine your mood, your attitude does. And as your attitude shapes your mood, so your mood shapes your action, and your actions, in turn, shape the entire course of your life. What you hold in your mind will soon be reflected in your world. Attitude is a choice, perhaps the only thing in life over which you hold complete control. You cannot command the winds of circumstance, but you can adjust the sails of perception. The one who cultivates a positive attitude does not deny difficulty but faces it with composure. They do not crumble when tested, they interpret adversity as instruction. Life's trials, viewed through the eyes of growth, become teachers rather than tyrants. Each setback reveals a lesson, each delay builds patience, each failure refines understanding. There is no education quite like that which attitude provides. Consider those who complain when life resists their will. They grow bitter, shrinking under the weight of frustration. Yet, those who greet resistance with curiosity learn its rhythm. They discover strength they did not know they possessed. They rise not because conditions are favorable, but because their perspective transforms burden into blessing. The difference lies in how they choose to think. For every difficulty conceals an equal or greater opportunity, but only the mind willing to see can uncover it. A positive attitude does not ignore reality, it interprets it with wisdom. It asks, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What can I do now that will move me forward? Such a mindset transforms even hardship into advantage. History's greatest triumphs were not born in comfort, but in challenge. The leaders, inventors, and creators who shaped civilization did so by refusing to surrender their outlook to circumstance. They looked upon the same world as everyone else, but they chose to see possibility where others saw peril. Your attitude is contagious. It radiates into every corner of your environment, influencing those around you more than you may realize. In the workplace, at home, among friends, your energy becomes a silent teacher. A cheerful spirit inspires, a complaining one drains. By choosing to carry an attitude of optimism, patience, and enthusiasm, you not only elevate your own life, you lift others with you. You become a source of light in a world too often dimmed by doubt. Attitude is not merely reaction. It is creation. When you decide to meet the world with strength, the world responds in kind. The opportunities you attract, the relationships you nurture, and the success you achieve all flow from the energy you project. A person who expects good finds it. One who anticipates failure meets it. Life, like a mirror, reflects the thoughts you hold most firmly. Choose, then, to see yourself as capable, resilient, and worthy, and your outer world will gradually align with that inner image. In moments of discouragement, remember that attitude is your greatest ally. When the path grows steep, it is attitude that gives endurance. When plans falter, it is attitude that renews determination. When others lose faith, it is attitude that whispers, try once more. Every great story of success is, at its core, a story of perspective, of someone who chose to believe, to persist, to see the sun behind the storm. To live with a right attitude is to live on purpose. It is to declare each day that you will not be ruled by fear, by doubt, or by the shifting winds of circumstance. You will stand firm in gratitude, look forward in hope, and walk with faith that every step, no matter how small, moves you toward a better tomorrow. Every life finds its highest meaning the moment it turns outward. The pursuit of success begins with ambition, but it is fulfilled only through service. The measure of a person's greatness is not how much they accumulate, but how much they contribute. To serve is to rise beyond the narrow boundaries of self and step into the broader purpose for which all true success exists. To add value, to uplift, to make the world, in some small way, better than it was before. In serving others, you discover the deepest truth of prosperity, that what you give multiplies, and what you hoard withers. Every enduring achievement, every lasting enterprise is built upon this principle. The marketplace does not reward need, it rewards usefulness. The farmer prospers because he brings forth food, the teacher because she imparts knowledge, the artist because he stirs the soul, the leader because she creates vision and opportunity for others to follow. In every profession, in every corner of life, success comes to those who ask not, "What can I take?" but, "What can I give that no one else can?" The one who learns to see service not as obligation, but as privilege unlocks a source of power that cannot be measured merely in money or acclaim. There is dignity in every act that meets a genuine need. When you pour your effort into work that benefits others, you align yourself with the natural flow of progress. Life moves forward through exchange, ideas shared, skills offered, goods traded, kindness extended. When you give freely of your best without calculation, you set in motion currents of goodwill that return to you in unexpected ways. The law of sowing and reaping is not confined to fields of earth. It governs every human relationship. What you plant in the lives of others will one day return, multiplied to your own. Service refines the character. It softens arrogance and tempers greed. The individual who serves learns humility, for they must listen, observe, and understand before they can meet a need. They learn empathy, for they must see through another's eyes to offer what is truly valuable. And they learn patience, for not every act of service is recognized, not every kindness returned. But in the quiet satisfaction of having given their best, they find a peace that applause cannot buy. Many imagine success as a solitary climb to the top, but in truth no one ascends alone. Every achievement rests upon a network of exchange. The teachers who instructed, the workers who built, the customers who believed, the friends who encouraged. To forget this is to lose sight of the very foundation upon which success stands. The more one grows, the more one owes, not in debt, but in duty, to extend opportunity to others, to mentor, to create, to serve. Greatness is not measured by how high you rise, but by how many you lift as you climb. To serve well requires thought. It demands that you study the needs of those around you, that you become a student of humanity. What do people desire? What frustrates them? What would make their lives easier, richer, more meaningful? The one who observes, listens, and innovates to meet those needs becomes indispensable. Wealth flows naturally to those who solve problems, who deliver value, who make life better for others. Thus, the secret to success is not hidden in chance or favor. It is found in usefulness. There is no act of service too small, a word of encouragement, a gesture of kindness, a task done with care. Each sends ripples farther than the eye can see. Sometimes the greatest difference is made not by grand gestures, but by quiet consistency. The smile that lifts a spirit, the craft done with pride, the promise kept when it would be easier to forget. In every interaction lies the chance to enrich another life, and in doing so to enrich your own. The world hungers for people who serve with integrity, who do not cut corners, who bring excellence to their work simply because it is right. When you make service your mission, you become immune to the pettiness of competition. No one can outdo the person who gives more, loves more, helps more. The rewards may not appear at once, but they are certain. For the one who serves is never truly poor. They carry within them a wealth no misfortune can diminish, a legacy no passage of time can erase. There comes a point in every journey when the road ahead is unclear, when the horizon fades into mist and certainty slips quietly from view. In those moments, strength of body and brilliance of mind are not enough. What carries a person forward then is something deeper. Faith. Faith is the unseen hand that steadies the heart when sight fails. It is the quiet assurance that, though the path may twist and narrow, it still leads somewhere worthy. It is the belief that within you lies more potential than any obstacle before you. Without faith, every challenge becomes a wall. With it, every wall reveals a door. Faith begins not with proof, but with decision. It is the choice to trust that your efforts matter, that your purpose is real, that your dreams are not illusions but seeds awaiting their season. Most people wait to believe until they see results, not realizing that belief is the cause, not the effect. Nothing great has ever been achieved by those who demanded certainty first. The bridge is built only after the first step is taken. The mountain is climbed one unseen ledge at a time. Faith is action in the absence of evidence, a willingness to move when reason alone says stay. Every great work of progress, every innovation, every masterpiece was born in faith. The scientist who tests an unproven theory, the artist who begins with a blank canvas, the entrepreneur who starts a venture without promise of reward, all act in faith. They see something in the mind that has not yet appeared in the world, and they hold that vision long enough for reality to catch up. It is the same in every life. To create anything meaningful, a business, a family, a legacy, you must first believe it is possible, then live in accordance with that belief. Faith is not blind optimism. It does not deny difficulty or pretend that pain does not exist. Rather, it is the knowledge that within every difficulty lies the seed of a greater good. That pain itself can be transformed into wisdom. When storms come, faith whispers that they are temporary, that beyond the clouds the sun still shines. It steadies the mind when circumstances shift, reminding you that you are guided by something larger than chance, by purpose, by principle, by an intelligence woven into the very fabric of existence. Many surrender their dreams at the first sign of delay, because they mistake waiting for denial. Yet faith understands that growth requires time. The seed buried in the soil cannot demand instant bloom. It must trust the process, the darkness, the stillness, the unseen movement beneath the surface. So too must you. The results you long for may not appear immediately, but if your intention is clear and your effort consistent, life is already rearranging itself to meet you. The delay is not denial, it is preparation. There will be moments when fear knocks loudly at the door of your mind, urging you to turn back, to settle, to doubt. But faith is the guard who answers, saying, I know why I began, and I know where I am going. It allows you to stand firm amid uncertainty, to hold fast when logic falters. Every step forward requires courage, and courage is simply faith in motion. You need not see the entire road, only the next step. Each one you take and trust reveals another. Faith also means believing in yourself, not arrogance, but recognition of the power that dwells within. You are not a product of chance but of potential. The same intelligence that guides the stars resides in you, waiting to be expressed through your actions, your words, your work. To doubt yourself is to doubt that intelligence. To trust yourself is to align with it. When you believe that you are capable, worthy, and guided, you begin to move differently. Your voice steadier, your choices bolder, your presence calmer. In moments of solitude, when no applause is heard and progress feels slow, faith becomes companionship. It reminds you that unseen forces conspire in favor of those who persist with integrity. Each act of courage, each decision aligned with your purpose, sets into motion a chain of events that will, in time, bear fruit. The harvest may not arrive when you expect it, but it will come in perfect season. Faith transforms the impossible into inevitable. It is the invisible thread connecting dreams to destiny, effort to reward, beginning to fulfillment. When the world says, wait, faith says, work. When the world says, quit, faith says, continue. It is the quiet power behind every triumph. The still voice that says, even in the darkest hour, keep going. The dawn is near. Life in its fullness and wonder yields its treasures only to those who understand its laws. Thought shapes the world within, purpose gives direction to the journey. Discipline builds the bridge between intention and achievement. Attitude colors every experience. Service enriches both giver and receiver. And faith lights the way when sight grows dim. These are not mere ideals. They are the timeless fundamentals upon which every lasting success is built. You need not possess extraordinary gifts or await perfect conditions. All that is required is a mind aware of its power, a heart steady in its purpose, and a spirit willing to act each day with courage, gratitude, and resolve. The difference between drifting and destiny lies in these simple truths, lived faithfully. So begin now. Guard your thoughts, define your aim, stay the course, meet each day with the right spirit, serve with sincerity, and trust the unseen path that leads toward your highest good. For the master of these fundamentals is the master of life itself, and the architect of a future rich in meaning, achievement, and peace.